Emilia Perez, Emilia Perez, Emilia Perez. I feel like I'm going to be hunted down for this review, so I apologize in advance, but I thought that this one's borderline bad.
Medio él, medio ella, medio papá, medio tía, medio rica, medio pobre.
And let me just back up for a second before I am completely attacked. Emilia Perez has had pretty tremendous audience reaction. I didn't catch the premiere at TIFF, but I caught the second showing, and the crowd was absolutely in love with it. A lengthy standing ovation, which is not the norm at TIFF, and even through the Q&A, the audience was continuing to show their love for the film. In fact, it finished runner-up for the People's Choice Award at TIFF, only behind Mike Flanagan's The Life of Chuck. And a second note before I dive into some of my critiques maybe of the film, I'm so happy that it got made. It has its roots in an opera from director Jacques Audiard. It is ambitious in so many ways. It puts a trans actress front and center, which is wonderful and something that we have so rarely seen, but that doesn't stop it from failing to hit so many of the marks that I hoped and somewhat expected that it would hit. The film stars Zoe Saldana, Karla Sofia Gascon, and Selena Gomez, who won the Best Actress award at Cannes as an ensemble, which again is quite rare. And overall, they were okay. Karla Sofia Gascon stole the show during the Q&A I was at. She seems like just a wonderful human being, super down to earth and super funny, and she was perfectly okay in the film, as was Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez, but I have to admit that I wasn't blown away by the performances. But it wasn't the performances that took me out of the film. It was Jacques Audiard's ambition to do so much in this film. He wanted to show some of the trans experience. He wanted to show some drug violence in Mexico. He wanted to show some corruption. He wanted to show some love stories and the search for love and acceptance. And by trying to do so much, I felt personally none of those were truly fulfilled or explored to the depths that they required. A lot of the talk around Emilia Perez has been the fact that it highlights the trans experience and shows this on screen, and it does, but again, my opinion here, I think, holds and should hold only so much weight as a cisgendered man, but to me, it almost felt like it was minimizing the trans experience at times. There was one musical number in particular at a surgeon's office that I felt very reductive, but again, that's just my experience. After the first act, though, there's pretty much no mention of this struggle of being trans and transitioning, and it kind of boils the trans experience down to getting top and bottom surgery. Similarly, when we shift more toward drug violence and this crime thriller aspect and corruption, there's just not enough there to really bring the tension out. It is kind of just used as a way to get certain relationships to the point that they need to be in the film for other beats to occur. And then on that note, the exploration of love and desire and loneliness and the need to be accepted is kind of thrown in there in the third act. Karla Sofia Gascon's character is able to find love, but that occurs in a couple scenes and isn't really brought to a meaningful conclusion. Similar with Selena Gomez and Zoe Saldana's character. Zoe Saldana's character in particular as a lawyer and ultimately as the do-everything person for our protagonist has pretty unclear motivations, and again, that doesn't come to a nice, neat conclusion. Again, I respect the attempt to do so much, but it just didn't fully come together for me. There were some good musical sequences, some good dance sequences. Somewhat ironically, my favorite and I think the most impactful musical sequence was actually from the daughter of our protagonist, from Karla Sofia Gascon's character, in a very emotional song, kind of longing for her quote-unquote papa. But some of the dance sequences were not great. Again, I'm not here to hate on anyone. They're all better dancers than I will ever be, but Zoe Saldana's choreography seemed almost juvenile. And as someone who has been on the periphery of the dance world for several years, it was nothing that would set it apart from kind of your average dancer. There are some other kind of random issues that were very strange. There's soft focus at times, so whoever was pulling focus wasn't completely hitting the mark, which was strange, and just the tonal shifts sometimes were not entirely smooth and consistent. So look, at the end of the day, I seem to be in the minority from an audience perspective. It is a very loved film, and I do understand why that might be for the general audience. The critical reception is quite mixed, and I anticipate as the film rolls out to wider and wider audiences, the general reaction will cool a little bit. Still, so happy that it got made. Jacques Audiard is a director who is willing to try and do things and break certain conventions, which I respect, and nothing but love for the cast here. All seem like truly amazing human beings. If you watch this video, thank you. Appreciate it. Watch the next one, like, comment, subscribe. All those things are awesome. And when I post another video, watch that one too. Thanks.